I don't know. I guess let's talk about this movie or what's up.
Ready?
I'm gonna forget it if we don't.
Let's
The
talk about it.
movie you're making me watch today was Cool Hand Luke, 1967. Stuart Rosenberg. Who cares? Jake. Wait, whose choice?
It was mine.
Jake. One word.
Cool.
Schwartz.
Underwhelming.
Ooh, that's close to mine. I have two. I'm going to choose one, and I'm going to say uneventful. My other one was unimpressed. Cool Hand Luke, 1967, Stuart Rosenberg.
Yeah. Considered a classic.
Considered a classic.
Considered a classic.
Back to my question. Why?
I mean, I still liked it. I thought it was more boring than I would have liked, but the same can be said about Indiana Jones.
More boring is definitely a note I would have written for this movie. More boring.
I don't know about boring. I was interested. Like, I wasn't turned off by the story ever. I liked the story, but it was very slow paced.
It was riveting. Remember when he ate a bunch of eggs?
I like that scene. But it wasn't.
That was like the climax of the movie.
That was the mid-high point of the movie. The middle of the movie where the plot's the highest to the lowest.
Yeah.
That was the highest point of the movie.
Good for
was when
him.
he ate 50 eggs in an hour, which I was wondering how many eggs did they shoot Paul Newman? I wonder how many eggs Paul Newman actually had to eat that day.
I know the answer to that. It's on IMDb.
Is it? How many?
8.
Eight?
He only ate about 8 eggs.
Oh wow. Okay.
Due to movie magic. But
yeah.
the
Sure,
best
spit
part
a bunch
is
out and shit.
there was 200 hard-boiled eggs on set that day, and the rest were eaten by the crew, by the rest of the crew. And the next day, everyone was farting something nasty.
Oof. That's true.
That all was
awesome.
Also on IMDb.
That's awesome.
It's like getting
200
Mexican
eggs.
food on a hot day on crew. It's like, this isn't a good idea.
Man, that movie was boring. It was 2 hours and 7 minutes, and I think it was about 87 minutes too long. There was just nothing going on. It was just boring. It was like a really boring Shawshank Redemption.
It was certainly no
thing.
Shawshank.
I get that it's considered a classic, and that it's driven by. Oh, sorry. I thought I broke up.
You did. Driven by what?
Mark that so you don't put that in there.
Ah, shit. Hold on.
What was I saying?
Hey, fuck marking. Just roll with it.
Roll with it.
No, you got to know what this is. This is dumb.
Get a little dead air going on. Get this.
No, this is stupid.
Get this episode off to the right start.
You're the only one that sounds dumb, George.
No, what were you saying? It was driven by what?
It was driven by Paul Newman's performance, and I get that. And I get that he was good because he was good. He was great. He was awesome. But the movie started off with him unhinging on a farm where people live in a cage, and the characters in the jail are fucking boring. Like the big guy, the guy who beats the shit out of him, and the guy who's like the ruler of the jail before he gets there, eating eggs and impressing everybody.
Wait, his name's Dragon.
He's the worst.
Dragline.
Was it?
Dragline.
It was fucking boring as shit.
Hold on one second. The cinematography was great. Is that what you just said? In what way?
Cinematography was pretty great.
In what way? I saw nothing.
The shots of them working on the road and the wide shots. I liked the framing of them out there working. And the shots of the looking in the guy's eyes.
The only shots that were memorable was the shots looking in the eyes. I didn't see a single other shot in that movie other than the reflections in the guy with no eyes. I didn't see a single other shot that impressed me in any way. And I was looking for it too, because I was like, maybe this movie will be saved by its cinematography. But I thought, but by the end of it, I was like, nope, no, that didn't impress me. But yes, the shots of his eyes were awesome. of the glasses, those were great. I'd love to know all how they did that.
Yeah, I mean, because it was Conrad Hall. I thought the lighting, like the use of lighting, like it was very like just, it was simple, but I thought it was well done. And like even the outside lighting, like the natural lighting that they use, or at least looked very natural lighting. There was some good uses of like practical lighting. I noticed even inside the jailhouse, where there's some lamps that I thought did some cool shit.
It got the job done. That's what the cinematography did.
I just think
I didn't think the cinematography didn't stand out in any way other than the shots of the glasses.
The glasses
were
great.
If that alone was the height of it was like what they were trying to show off cinematography wise, I think they did a great job, and I think that's to be commended. But that's all it was.
I mean, so the shots of them working when they were doing the shearing of the bushes with those things, some of that was pretty dope. There was a lot of like 2 and 3 shots of them looking around with the weeds blowing, and the way the camera was moving too slowly. Like it was some pretty really great historically driven Hollywood shots in that movie. Like
historically
shots you would see in La La Land, like old school Hollywood type of shots. Like that's what that movie reminded me, like
old school Hollywood.
It was, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's what it was. Like back then when Paul Newman was young, when he was making movies like that he was still in the golden era of Hollywood before like Coppola and
this movie was made for Paul Newman. That's all 100%. I keep saying. It's they this was when they were making movies for movie stars, not making movies because there was dope movies to make.
100%, and that's also the old era of Hollywood.
I hate it.
George Kennedy, the dude that played Dragline, he actually won an Oscar for this role.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he was great.
He was good. I thought that character was really good.
Wait a second.
I mean, at least it was well performed. Like the character itself.
I didn't understand half the words he was saying.
I gotta see who he beat out for it. I gotta see who he won over.
Yeah, check it out.
Check it out, dude. Google
70 or 67 or whatever.
Google it. Use Google.
I mean, and I hate to use like this is an excuse, but it was 1967 for the cinematography. So,
but Conrad Hall is one of the most noted and respected cinematographers of all time. He's in the top like 20.
Yeah,
cool. So, yeah, he's probably number 20.
No, all I'm saying is that he's done a lot of great things, including this.
One other movie. Go.
Hold on, I'm looking this other thing up right
now. He did Road to Perdition and American Beauty.
That was a good movie.
I know he won Oscars for those 2 movies.
For American Beauty?
Yeah, and Road to Perdition. They both won Oscars.
Yeah.
Road to Perdition, I thought it was interesting. I made the connection with Paul Newman that those 2 guys worked together on Road to Perdition.
And that was Paul Newman's last movie.
Yeah, it's Conrad Hall's last movie.
That's crazy.
Yep. Conrad Hall actually won the Oscar
posthumously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
For Road to Perdition.
They should call that the Conrad Hall Award.
I know, right? Maybe they will one day.
No, they won't, because Heath Ledger won it.
I was about to say that. Damn it.
Heath Ledger won Best Cinematography?
Posthumously.
Yes, posthumously. They were like, that movie was so dope. We're going to give a bunch of awards to Heath Ledger. Best director, Heath Ledger. And Nolan's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying about being a Paul Newman movie, which it is. It's all driven for him to be the cool guy, to be the guy who's telling the jokes, to be the guy who starred in the movie. And he was great. And the acting, he was awesome.
That's what
he played a great part.
That makes
but
it
his
not
part
a good
wasn't
movie.
that. But his part wasn't that interesting to me either. Like you said, he was eating fucking eggs. He was getting beat up by a guy who would beat everybody.
He's like, hey, let's do something crazy. Let's finish tarring this road faster than he told us to. Ooh, good one. Let's do it. Okay. Right, that was another like highlight. It was like a climax. They were like, can we finish this road quicker than he expects? Yes, we can. Si se puede.
It was, but I think part of that was the fact like these characters are in prison and they have, it's a mundane life. Like,
wait, they were in prison?
Yeah, they were like prison work camp, bro.
Oh shit.
Oh, were they just camping? What do you think was going on?
No, I thought they were mentally handicapped.
Wow.
Chain gang. Anyway,
they don't put those guys on chain gangs. That's rude.
I think what the deal with this character was, like, he was just a carefree dude, and he was doing his best to like cycle of like
He was just hanging
jail
out.
being shitty.
It was like we watched a movie where fucking what's his name, Eric Roberts. Who the fuck was this guy?
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman. Where
Roberts.
Paul Newman was just hanging out. Thanks. That was a great movie. It was like the scene where they're tarring the top of the roof on Shawshank. If that was the whole movie.
That is a pretty solid
And
analogy, and I'll give you that.
They got beers, and then he escaped, but they caught him, and then roll credits.
Anything compared to Shawshank is doo-doo. Shawshank's one of the best movies ever made.
This movie was in a prison, and I'm comparing it to Shawshank. I'll compare it to Green Mile too.
That's another
better movie than this.
You know what? I was honestly
same director, both Frank Darabont.
I was honestly trying to give you a prison redemption movie after you guys hated Down by Law. And
yeah,
I don't
that was
think
worse.
This
didn't do anything. This didn't do it.
I would rather watch Down by Law again than watch this movie again.
Down by Law's escape from prison was more eventful than all three of Paul Newman's escape from this work camp.
Oh, I forgot he kept escaping. Yeah, that was crazy too. Like
because he just didn't give a fuck.
What?
And then
how long is he going to be in
keep
jail for?
Him back.
Well, how long was he going to be in jail for taking the tops off of meters? Like, what is that? Like
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years? That's
2
fucking
years.
ridiculous. Why? I thought it should be like 2 weeks.
I don't know. I think it was just something about the character. Like you got to consider also going back. It was
what do we got to consider?
1967.
What do we
It was
tell us
1967.
why we need to consider something weird to like this movie?
Think about like the times. Like
Let me
everyone
think.
was very like conformity was like a thing in the 60s. It was like I likened this movie to like Easy Rider. Like those types of people aren't like the norm. Like they're not a societal norm. Like back in the day where everyone just had to be one way. This character was like, I don't give a fuck. Yes, but this character just gave no fucks. Like even like the opening scene of like him cutting off the meters was just like that's a weird thing to do.
Fun fact, a lot of that movie was shot in the Central Valley. That was in Lodi, which is very close to Fresno, where I'm from. And they kept those meters cut off. There was about a block of road for years after that movie came out of just posts without meters on top down the road that they just kept that way because of the movie. Because it was
and I get that he was supposed to be a guy who didn't give a fuck, and I got the fact that he didn't give a fuck, but it should have been a little more compelling of not giving a fuck because it wasn't compelling in any way.
I didn't give a fuck about 90% of the scenes in that movie.
I didn't care about anybody, including his character. The coolest character in the movie.
The boxing scene?
That was
where he was.
That was terrible.
Like, is he gonna come back from this?
Terrible.
What's the end of this? It's terrible. Are we just gonna sit here and watch him get beat up for 10 minutes and then there's no redemption? There's nothing in that. What is he just keeps getting up? He's getting his ass beat. This proves nothing. The guy's a pussy.
Redemption
is lame.
The redemption is when he's playing cards and then Big Bad Dragon, Academy Award winning fucking dragon, comes and says, "You're my boy." And he's like, ha, ha. That's it right there. Then on out, they're boys. And does Paul Newman die in the end?
I hope so.
Is he dead? Does he die?
No.
It was implied. No, he got shot, and then they sent him.
Neck. Oh, okay, yeah. So he gets shot, and then they were like, "Oh, we got to take him to the hospital." He's like, "No, I'm taking him back to the prison hospital." He's like, "He's not gonna make it." Yeah. So it's implied that he's dead. I fucking hope so. I fucking hope he died.
Definitely implied that, because if he wasn't, it was just gonna keep that movie was just gonna keep repeating.
He was gonna try to escape again, and then he's gonna be like, "What we have here is failure to communicate." Why is that one of the greatest lines of all time? Tell me why that's one of the greatest lines of all time.
I can't tell you.
That's in like top 10 lines of all time that people will quote. I thought it was a president that said that. That's a terrible line. It didn't have anything to do with that movie. It was stupid.
President Newman.
What we have here is failure to communicate. It just reminds me of that Metallica song.
What song is that?
It's like the Call of the Cthulhu.
That's a great song.
It is, and it starts with that line. What we have here is failure to communicate.
Metallica apparently liked Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah, I fucking bet they did. They're also 60 years old.
Yeah.
As is that movie.
I guess if we had to watch this in 1967, it may have been cool. But.
Sure. When that was like the 60th movie that had ever come out, I'd be like, wow, this is better than the last 59 movies. This is
easily top 50.
Let's correct
really improving.
let's correct that real quick. There's definitely a lot more than 60 movies.
I don't know, like 160.
There's probably at least like 500.
Sure, that's not a lot.
Yeah, I guess not. But
do you think there's a way for Rotten Tomatoes to consider this podcast part of the overall scores?
Oh,
because that movie has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know how it's possible.
Every podcast we do, I submit to the national records at the Library of Congress. So it's in the record. I'll tell you that much.
All right. So Tomatoes, listen up. Knock that bitch down to 99.
Yo, RT, worst movie I've ever seen. Good quotes. Spend the night in the box. I feel like I've heard that quoted. The further I'm gonna do this, you're gonna spend a night in the box. Like I feel like I've heard that quoted many times.
Brad Pitt is quoted as saying that his line from Seven was taken from that. 'Cause he was thinking about that while he was in that scene.
Box?
Yeah.
Huh.
Weird.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally lying.
He was maybe watching that movie thinking, "What? I wonder what's in the box.
What's in the box?
They keep talking about this box. What's
the night in the box?
What's in there?
What is in the box? I wonder.
Box?
They show the box. That's stupid.
And he spent some time in the box. That was a bitch move when he got put in the box because his mom died.
Yeah,
and they're like,
I was watching.
You can't run away.
At that point, I was watching and I was like Instagramming, and I was like, I look up and I heard him go, you can't work on the road because you're gonna be like mentally whatever.
Gotta be a rabbit.
Yeah, I was like, that's weird.
Rabbits
and I
run.
looked down and I looked back up and he's getting put in the box. I was like, did I miss something? Did he do something wrong? Why is he getting shoved in the box? And it's just because his mom died. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Hey, who gives a shit? None of that affected me. I was watching the movie. He was like, his mom died. I was like, cool. We met her once and it wasn't memorable enough for me to have liked her. So not great.
I do remember zoning out on that conversation, being like, is that his mom? I think that's his mom. I don't know.
Who cares? Who cares? Why? All I kept every 30 minutes in that movie, I thought, why is this fucking movie a classic?
Yeah. I mean, Dennis Hopper and Harry Dean Stanton had some pretty cool minor roles in it.
Dennis Hopper was in that movie?
I saw Harry Dean Stanton. I didn't notice Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, Dennis Hopper was the blonde guy who was kind of weird. He was always like,
what?
Yeah. Google me, bitch. Google it. IMDb it.
Weird.
Dennis
I swear.
Hopper?
Yeah.
What are we fucking talking about right now?
We're talking about Coyote Ugly.
Cool Hand
Dennis
Luke.
Hopper.
Lukewarm
Stand
Todd.
by while we.
His name was
Bablu
Bablu Gats.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Dennis Hopper, Bablu Gats.
Is he? I don't see him in the
thought you were
IMDb. Oh, there he
joking
is in
about
the
all of
IMDb.
this.
I noticed Harry Dean Stanton right away.
What part was his? When was he
Bablu Gats.
Yeah, I don't know what that is though.
That's Dennis Hopper.
Thanks.
You're
Thanks for
welcome.
clearing that up.
Was it like one scene?
Nah, he was in like 3 or 4 scenes where he had like dialogue, or he was
kind of a background
or he was
guy.
listening to Dragon tell him something to do.
Oh, weird.
Gone too far when you mess with the man with no eyes. You're gonna be after him a little bit. Why don't you take it a little easy?
Is that a scene with Bagalagots?
Apparently, I don't know. This is the Plastic Jesus scene where he plays the song.
That was a nice scene. I like that.
What? Oh, you remember that?
when he found out his mom died, then he
yeah.
went and sat on his bunk.
He's young as fuck.
That's another cool scene that was shot really well with the wide shot of them in the background and slowly dollies in and it ends up on him.
Whatever,
and
dude.
That was
Shot really
I like
well.
That shot.
A dolly shot really well. Yeah, it was great.
It looked good for the emotion it was trying to convey. It was perfect.
Fucking great.
That was another one where I thought there was good use of practical lighting.
Yeah, there was.
Sure, practical lights. None of it was practical, but fucking whatever, dude.
Or with the lamps.
Stupid.
And the ceiling.
You know what else I read on IMDb is that they tried to shoot that scene earlier, but Paul Newman was like, "Nah, I got to learn this song for real. So let me learn it, and then we'll do it later." So
That's
they
dope.
waited weeks. And then it was time to shoot it.
He
He still didn't fucking know it. And the director's like, what the fuck is your problem? And he's like, it's fine. I'll just give me another shot. So they go weeks later. He finally does it. They do like 1 or 2 takes. And the director's like, fine, perfect, print it. And Paul Newman's like, nah, I could do it one more time. And he was like, nah, it can't be done better than that. It was perfect. We're done. Moving on to the next one. So apparently Paul Newman's an idiot. Is he dead?
He's got his own salad dressing. That's pretty smart.
I don't. Yeah, he's dead, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
is that
He died. Yeah.
That is Paul Newman. Yes,
Newman's own? Is Paul Newman?
it is.
I thought that was like the guy from Vegas. Who's the Newman from Vegas?
Salad dressing.
Randy Newman or not Randy
Newman?
Newman?
No.
You're thinking of Wayne
cookies
Newman.
too.
Wayne Newman.
Newman.
That's not his dressing?
No, that's our boy from Cool Hand Luke.
Damn.
He does dressing.
Hey, fuck Paul Newman. Fuck his dressing. Cool Hand Luke was not a good movie. I wouldn't recommend it. Let's go to the rankings.
R.I.P. Paul Newman, though.
Yeah, he was an actor.
He is dead.
He is dead. Died in 08.
That's not too long ago.
No.
Well.
So what are we doing?
R.I.P.
Ranking Paul Newman movies right now?
No, we're just ranking this movie.
Are we gonna play a Harry Dean Stanton for Paul Newman?
So I just watched. Yeah, let's do that. Let me go first. Hold on. Cool Hand Luke.
Nailed it. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all I
have.
have.
All right, where are you putting it, Anthony?
I don't know.
Where are you putting it?
I haven't looked at it yet.
All right, I'll tell you where I'm putting it.
Tell me, dude.
I'm putting it right after Night Eats the World and right before I'm sorry. I'm gonna put it after Shoplifters, before Taxi Driver.
Wait, hold on. I thought you said earlier in this podcast you would watch Down by Law before you watch this again. So do you rank?
So you're a fucking liar.
So are you lying again, or would you rank Down by Law higher?
Are
you changing your mind? Are you
no,
flip-flopping?
This is the thing. You guys are the ones who say that you did the way you rank it is the way you would watch it. That's not necessarily the way I'm doing it.
Nah, we rank however we want.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, and that's not how I'm ranking it. That's not how I'm ranking it.
How are you ranking it? Wrong?
So you like this more than
it.
you like this more than Down by Law?
I would probably watch Down by Law again, but this is a better movie. It's just way more boring and less. It's a better made movie. It's a better made movie, but Down by Law I would just watch again because.
So what number is it for you, Schwartz?
It'll be 18.
Give us a refresh. Start from the bottom, go up.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Started from the bottom. Now
Down by Law, UHF, Taxi Driver, this movie, Shoplifters, Night Eats the World, Carnival of Souls, Ready or Not.
CB4 is in there. We know that.
Yep. Nice. I guess he's frozen. I guess Schwartz dead.
Deep Bread.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
Yeah, okay. You freeze between Ready or Not and Handmaidens.
Oh, okay.
We got the bottom three and the top three.
All right, I'm going to start going. Ready?
For
Ready
the audience.
Do it fast. Do it as fast as you can.
Up. Ready or Not.
As fast as you can. No, start from the bottom.
Go real fast.
Okay, ready?
Down by Law, CB4,
UHF,
go.
Down by Law, UHF, Taxi Driver. I'm done. I'm not saying it anymore. Everybody, if they want to know, I'll tell them next time.
Oh, cool. Email Schwartz, text him, tweet him.
Email
go, Schwartz. Down by Law, CB4, UHF, Taxi Driver, go. As fast as you can.
Down by Law, UHF, Taxi Driver, Shoplifters, The Night Eats the World, Carnival of Souls, Ready or Not, Police Story, Pushing Tin, Creep, Legend, The Host, Border, Let the Right One In, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, Blood Simple, Blue Velvet, Handmaiding Sisters, Deep Red.
That was slow as fuck.
But people know what I said.
Or you go faster.
Go faster, Jake. You do
Jake, go as fast as you can.
Hold on, let me pull up my list.
All right, I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna do mine in less than a second. Ready?
Go. Nice.
Damn! So you changed Taxi Driver and Blood Simple, huh?
Yeah, if you slow it down, you could hear what I said.
All right, yeah, that's where I'm putting it. Boo! This movie, boo! And I wanted it to be good because I heard this movie was great. This is supposed to be, like you said, it's supposed to be. You got to watch this movie. This is a classic movie. Paul Newman. You got to see this movie. And
I guess I fucked up again.
All right, I got a spot. I got a spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ready?
Yep.
I'm putting it right above Down by Law. Because Down by Law, I thought sucked.
What number is that on your list?
Hold on, I'm trying to do that would be number 16 for me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put what movie did we just watch? Cool Hand Luke at number 16.
Cool Hand Luke.
And Jake, where are you putting this bad boy? Schwartz is 18. I'm 16.
Cool. Well, for an update, I'm actually gonna bump up Sisters. Just for a little side note.
Nasty.
I think after talking about it, sometimes this happens where I realize even better things about movies once we break them down. So I'm bumping up Sisters 2 spots over Police Story and skipping Indiana Jones as well. So Blood Simple is my number 8, 9. Number 10's Police Story. So Sisters, welcome to my top 10. That said, Cool Hand Luke going at number 12 for me.
Number 12.
Right under Indiana Jones.
Hold on, I just unplugged myself. Schwartz is at number 18. I'm at number 16. Jake's at number 12. Cool Hand Luke. I like it. Should we release our lists?
Yeah, I mean, we might.
What are we at right now? 19?
We're at like 20.
Oh no, at 22.
23.
Oh shit.
This will be our 23rd movie. I can't edit it for some reason, so I'm not doing anything. I'm writing down here. Quotes from this movie, I feel like were used in a lot of movies. Obviously, what we have here is a failure to communicate. It's one of like the top quotes of all time.
I'm trying to remember where else I heard that, but I can't fucking remember. But I know I've heard it.
Yeah, we know that quote though.
Like you said, I almost thought it was like something like Kennedy said. You know, like I don't know, like it sounds presidential.
Does sound
Todd Kennedy?
Yeah, Todd
Jeffrey Kennedy.
57th president.
Spends a night in the box. I feel like I've heard that places, if not like Family Guy. Spends a night in the box. I feel like that's something I've heard before. When she was doing the car wash scene, which is the dumbest scene in the movie.
That was terrible, but shot really well.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that was really
I don't
dumb.
Think so.
Yeah, they were great. Pretty
maybe
great.
Not.
I was thinking.
No.
To be fair, I was thinking when we were watching that, this is Schwartz's favorite scene.
Yeah, I bet.
No, my favorite scene.
Pop out.
My favorite scene is when he escapes with the wire, because I thought that was actually pretty interesting. It didn't really make sense because like
that's another scene that I've seen parodied somewhere. Is shaking that.
That scene was actually kind of dope. After I thought about it, I was like, that's kind of interesting. He just kept shaking the fucking tree as he was going. That was kind of weird. No, this movie sucked.
All happened too fast. It all happened too fast for that.
Don't watch this movie. Yeah, exactly. That's the geography of it didn't make sense.
When she was doing in the car wash at a certain point, one of the dudes goes, "She don't know what she's doing," and then one of the other guys goes, "She knows exactly what she's doing," and that reminded me of Sandlot. When they're in the pool and they're watching Wendy Peppercorn, and she goes, "She don't know what she's doing. She don't know," and she goes, "She knows exactly what she's doing. Lotion, oiling." So I feel like, if anything, that was a slight nod to this movie.
Probably very similar movie to Sandlot and Cool Hand Luke, basically identical.
Yeah, basically the same movie.
More or less.
Best thing to happen to Cool Hand Luke is that Sandlot referenced it.
True sequel. That it may as well be a sequel. My favorite line.
Forget the Oscar nomination. Sandlot nod.
Forget the Oscar win.
Yeah.
Oh well, when he says Cool Hand Luke, in the reason he gets his name, he says sometimes a whole lot of nothing can be a cool hand. That's how he gets his name. I wrote down some quotes. I'm reading them right now. Here's the last one. My favorite line in the movie. He goes, "I'm not calling you a liar. You just have a common and likable tendency of exaggeration." I think.
That's good.
That was my favorite line of the whole movie because
he
says
who says that?
Dragnet, I think is his name.
Dragline.
Dragnet. That's a fucking TV show. Dragline. He says some bullshit. I couldn't understand half the words he's saying. I had to put subtitles on. And he says something. Someone says, whatever. He goes, "What are you talking about? You saying I'm a liar?" He goes, "I'm not calling you a liar. You just have a common and likable tendency for exaggeration."
I do remember that.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Those are all the quotes I wrote down. That's all I have from this fucking movie because it wasn't good. Stuart Rosenberg, thanks for nothing.
99% of Rotten Tomatoes after this episode leaks. It's gonna be.
Is it 100% on Rotten Tomatoes?
It's 100%.
Gives this shit.
I don't know.
We should all make a Rotten Tomatoes account. Well, Jake liked it, but I'm gonna bash it. Try to get down to 98% at least.
So I still feel like this would be a poor rating overall.
Above all of us. I mean, it's definitely lower in the lower 10 of our top 23s. Yeah. So
I mean, I liked it. I don't think it was that great though.
Certainly not top 10.
Certainly not what I thought it was going to be. I had much higher expectations. I thought, honestly, I've been wanting to see this movie almost more based off of like it has cool artwork or like the posters. like the movie posters for Cool Hand Luke. I've always thought were dope.
These are the movies that fucking Rick Dalton made in Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time in America. And
For sure.
These are the movies
Bounty
before
Law.
movies got good. These
Bounty
are
Law.
the movies.
This could have been a
These are
Rick
like-
Dalton.
This is like right after blackface, right before special effects.
Okay.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. What time is it that we're alive?
26 minutes in.
Yeah,
Man,
okay.
look, 100 audience score, 95%.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Back then, when this came out, people were like, "Yeah, Paul Newman."
There
fucking
wasn't Rotten
Rage Against the
Tomatoes
Machine,
in
bro.
1997, dude.
Rage Against the
This
Machine,
these
dude.
are all modern, and I don't think our moms and dads are on here fucking
No.
rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's people like Jake who are like, "Yeah, I'll give it a good rating. It'll be good. People will love
it's
it."
so good. I have to.
You know what?
I'm
It's a bunch of
vegan.
vegans. It's a bunch of vegans rating this shit right here.
It's vegans, dude.
That's
Paul
why
Newman
it's
was a
that's
vegan.
why it's Rotten Tomatoes, not Rotten Flesh, bro.
Oh wow, mind blown.
Shots fired, you flesh-eating prick.
It's like in
I do like flesh. It's like
when
in
knocked up when they think they're making and knocked up when they think they're making the site that's gonna revolutionize the movie
Yeah,
community.
dude,
And they're like, yeah, it's just Mr. Skin. And they're like, what's Mr. Skin? He shows he's like, and then the next scene is like, they even got a better logo than us. And then he goes, top 10 shower scenes. You gotta think of that shit. Like, come on, that was awesome.
That was good. That was
not
good.
my favorite movie.
Knocked Up?
Knocked Up. No, I don't like that one.
Really? That was
Yeah.
a funny movie. Paul Rudd was great
Make me
in that.
watch it.
Paul Rudd was
Well,
great in that.
It's funny. It's not great
Yeah,
though.
it's
It's
funny.
not,
Yeah,
not great. NG.
It has its
All right, well,
moments.
yeah.
Do you have
So,
anything else
not-
to say about the classic Cool Hand Luke by Stuart Rosenberg?
Go ahead, Jake.
I'm reviewing my notes. No, I'm good. Everything's fine.
Schwartz, tell me.
I would say I really wanted it to be good because I've heard so many good things about it. I was expecting it to be a little better than it was. If you really like Paul Newman, check it out. If not, then you don't bother.
If this is the only Paul Newman movie you've ever not seen, for sure, check it out. But it's 2 hours too long, and it's a 2 hour and 7 minute movie.
Yeah,
But you like 7 minutes of it.
There was at least 7 minutes that I fully enjoyed of Cool.
Those were
Hand
the
Luke.
shower scenes.
All right. You know what?
No,
All
there was,
right.
for sure there were some super gay scenes in this movie. Like right before he was eating the eggs, when they were just rubbing on each other's stomachs, like I gotta get your stomach all ready and stretched out. It's like I was just like, man, this is super
yeah.
Top Gun like
It's
vibes going on right now.
I honestly found it for a prison
Arousing?
movie, it wasn't as rapey as it could have been. So let's be happy
There
about that.
was not a lot of rape in this movie. You're right. There was more rape in Shawshank Redemption than
Yep.
in Cool Hand Luke.
And you ever seen
So
the
I
movie,
will
the
give
show
you that.
Oz? Oz.
Ooh,
got
that's a
No.
rough one.
rough one.
No,
Don't.
I'm kind of
rough one.
anti-rape, unlike you apparently. So I don't watch those movies.
I'm saying I was happy about the lack of. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
bingo bango. Anyway,
Not a lot of bango.
one thing I thought was funny. Speaking of the male shower scenes, from the cut from the girl washing the car, and it was like basically a close up on her boobs. Like then it cut to dudes in the shower. I just found that cut made me like laugh a little bit because I'm sure there's a few creeps at home. Maybe Schwartz, I don't know, was like, oh yeah, and then
Oh,
cut to dudes in the
Right
shower.
in the shower.
Yeah,
It like,
no, I was
kinda turned
I
on
thought-
by the
I thought it was
chick,
funny.
but now
I was-
that
I
see
was
the
more-
guys, I'm in.
yeah, no,
That
I
was
was
funny.
more. Oh yeah, after a cut. After that, I was like, damn, this got good.
It was great. That was a great scene. That was in a terrible movie.
Yeah, don't watch this movie, guys. Just skip this one.
Skip it. In fact, we won't even post this episode.
No, unless Jake makes us because it's vegan rules.
We'll just
Ye-
post Jake's portion of the conversation, so he'll just be answering questions that nobody.
We'll get Drew Lighter in here to debate with him.
Cool. But he has to debate with the recorded audio
Yes,
of me
He
that's
ha-
already been
and he
recorded.
cannot listen to it beforehand. So
All
he
right.
just has to hear whatever Jake says and then argue with that. We'll call it the Big Cat. At the Big Cat on Instagram.
Big Cat's Corner is what we call that part of our show.
Big
Again,
Cat's
shout,
Corner.
again, shout out to the Big Cat,
Shout out to
as
the Big
always.
Meow.
What is his Instagram? The Big Cat?
No, it's
Drew something.
Yeah,
AC Drew.
Oh, Drew Bodacious Drew.
All right,
Bodacious Drew.
everyone hit up Bodacious Drew.
Follow Bodacious Drew, DRU. That's Drew Liner. He's the man.
DMs are open. He's down.
Yeah, he's down. He's DTF. Did you really DTF? Male, female,
Drew Liner
dog,
is
cat.
DTF,
What you got? He needs.
DTF.
Yeah, loves cats.
What'd you say?
He'll do it. If it's got a hole,
Male,
he'll stick it in.
female, dog, cat. If it's got nipples, he'll milk it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yo, if it's got a hole, Drew Liner's in biz.
This got off the rails.
Jake's not gonna milk it because he's vegan.
Oh,
that wasn't a dig. That was not a dig.
I only milk almonds, dog. It's cool.
That's not
almond
milk.
dogs. What the fuck's an almond dog?
Almond dogs. I'll cook them up for you later.
All
I'll
right.
show you. You'll like it.
He'll do it while he's watching Cool Hand Luke.
Almond dogs covered in nut cheese. You'll like it.
Oh yeah. Nothing says a good Sunday morning for Jake than sitting in his reading chair and watching Cool Hand Luke with some nut butter.
These nuts.
Love the nut butter.
You love them. Yeah.
I'm not gonna deny.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I've seen.
Yes, he does. I tasted it. Wait, what?
What?
Cool Hand Luke.
Talking about almond butter, right?
Stuart Rosenberg. Watch it or don't.
Don't.
I don't care.
You should. You should say don't.
I don't care.
You should say don't. Don't.
Whatever.
Don't. Don't.
Drew Leonard should watch it.
Drew Leonard, if you're listening, you should definitely watch it. And shout out to the big cat at Bodacious Drew on Instagram, DRU. Check us out on Instagram, MMWM_podcast. Next week's movie, Witches, just in time for Halloween. I think maybe a little after Halloween. Either way's fine. Check that movie out on Netflix, Witches, 1990 classic, directed by Nicholas Roeg. Close enough. And finally, if you love professional wrestling, our newest podcast, Making Me Watch Wrestling, is a watch-along podcast with G1 Climax 30 from NJPW. If you know what that means, you're going to like this podcast. Check that out wherever you get podcasts. Bye-bye.